let's kick things off with today's biggest stories in the lowdown.
Lowdown.
Fall Guys Season 2 is out right now, and with it comes new levels, a bunch of new costumes, and the show selector, which allows players to pick what games they'll be playing in their next match. The new content has resulted in Fall Guys climbing right back up to the top of the Twitch charts after being recently dethroned by fellow indie phenomenons Among Us and Phasmophobia. With consistent new content, can Fall Guys keep the Twitch crown for the long term? Let's talk about it.
I think so. Look, I know I am the big Fall Guys fan here, and plus Among Us I always get voted out first, and Phasmophobia is for all those that
too scared to
like
play.
to get scared. I don't know who likes to opt in to getting scared, but Fall Guys is the big phenomenon of the year, right? It showed that, hey, an indie game that has heart, that has a very fun, repetitive play cycle to get you in and out very quickly,
Right.
can succeed. And now we're really getting to test the theory of do they have staying power? This is season 2, you got 4 new maps. Yes, there are more skins. There's already kind of been skins already, but the maps I think are what's important. People are like, hey, this game's getting old. I've already mastered it. Now what? Well, now we have some rules changing. The way that you select maps are different. So I am excited to see here if they will be able to stay, and I think they will. You're updating something that already works.
I'm still a little out on whether or not I think Fall Guys is gonna. I know, and I love Fall Guys, like, don't get me wrong, but I just, because it is based on party games, you know, it's like a party game battle royale. I think the battle royale part of it is the twist that's making it really, really work. Because I think about, obviously, like, the big party game I played growing up, which was Mario Party.
Oh, sure. Right. Oh.
Yes, Jimmy, I am 8 years old. Just started playing Fall Guys. No, but so, like, Mario Party is the party game of my youth.
Right.
I don't really think about Mario Party anymore.
I'd push back on that because if Mario Party wasn't a success, they wouldn't have had so many different versions of Mario Party. So I would say at least, you know, Mario Party 2, Mario Party 3, Mario Party 4. That means like Season 2, Season 3, Season 4 Fall Guys will have staying power, will have people playing it. I was looking at Steam charts. The highest that it got up earlier was in the, I think, the 170, 180,000 range around the peak of Fall Guys. And just today, at launch of Season 2, it was around 120. I think I saw 120 active viewers, and that was at the beginning of the day. I can only imagine what it's like when everyone gets off of work and then starts playing later. So let's give it a little bit of time, but again, refreshing something that works, I think will always be something positive.
The thing that resonates to me is that streamers, this is like almost a gimme for a lot of streamers. Don't have a game to play, put on Fall Guys. I've seen a lot of streamers that are usually boxed into one game, play Fall Guys, or play another game. Let's say one of my favorite Magic streamers, Numat the Nummy, will play PUBG, and his viewership, of course, will decrease by, you know, 60, 70% because they're just not interested in that game. But Fall Guys just has this fun, bubbly aesthetic, and as a result, you only see their viewership decrease by 20, 30%. And that, I think, is a golden ticket for a lot of streamers who don't want to feel boxed into just one game.
Yeah, absolutely. It's in a lot of ways, I think, as far as streaming goes, taken the spot of what I noticed Animal Crossing to be early on in the early days of Animal Crossing, which was also the early days of the COVID-19 pandemic, where there were a lot of people that were streaming that were just like, because Animal Crossing is one of those games like, you can play it for a few hours or you can play it for a few minutes, and it's kind of all more or less the same content. And Fall Guys is very much the same way. So from a streaming standpoint, I totally get it. And on top of that, in addition to it just being fun and accessible, it has an additional level of accessibility over something like an Among Us, which Among Us is a blast to play, but it takes a lot more organization. Whereas in Fall Guys, in some ways it's frustrating that you can only have parties of 4 when you want to play with like 8 of your buds. But at the same time, it's really easy to find 3 other people to squad up with.
Yeah, it's very good. And taking a look at the chat here, Manatee, always on top, always here. Showing us a quick graph of what it was earlier. Contradicting my numbers earlier. It's currently sitting around 56,000 players.
Dang.
So it is not in the top 10. It's actually 11th behind Rust, Destiny 2, Rainbow Six, Football Manager 2020. I don't know what other year it could have been. PUBG, Fortnite,
the fact
Team
that
Fortress,
Fall Guys is only 4,000 behind Destiny 2 is pretty impressive, not gonna lie. I mean, like, look, it's 56,000 and number 5 is 75,000. So not a huge difference between number 5 and number 11. Fall Guys just has staying power. Anyone can play it. All these other games I see here, right? Counter-Strike, Dota, Rocket League, TF2. You gotta be pretty good at a game. Fall Guys, you literally can suck and still have fun. So I think there's a Big thing
And
there.
you can also be amazing at Fall Guys and still lose.
Yep.
Yes.
Because there's just such a chaos factor, and that is definitely a big part of what makes this game so charming. And so good luck to you, Fall Guys.
Yeah, I know that all of us here at VENN, of course, are appreciative of a game like this because it's easy to talk about.
Yeah.
And everyone knows what we're talking about, and no one feels like, this ain't my game. Pretty sure this fits around for everyone.
Yeah.
All right, now we can talk about Fall Guys all we want, but what's the point if we don't play it? So later on in the show, we're going to join Emily Ghoul over at the PCs to give Season 2 a spin ourselves.
Welcome, friends, to the gaming station. Later, we're gonna be playing Fall Guys, and Degon actually promised that if he does not win 2 crowns today, he's gonna come tomorrow in a pigeon costume.
Yay!
You heard it here first.
Yay!
You can't take it back.
I didn't say I was going to like wear a pigeon costume if I didn't win 2 crowns.
Somebody make
How
a
about
deep fake of Degon saying it.
One of
Yep.
the
I
new
didn't
costumes.
say that.
You heard it here first. It's on the internet, so it's true now.
All right, well,
don't even
Fall
have time to
Guys
do that.
is getting new content. It looks like Star Wars Squadrons is more of a what you see is what you get situation. Yes, in an interview with Upload VR creative director of Squadrons, Ian Fraser stated, quote, "We're not trying to treat the game as a live service, and they have no plans to add DLC to the sim." With publishers EA's rather spotty history, shall we say, of microtransactions
Yeah.
and the games industry focus on post-launch monetization, is this a refreshing change?
No.
Oh.
Why not give DLC to a game that has been lauded by critics, is clearly a lot of fun, and they have an amazing co-op mode as well that they can expand upon any of the elements, single player,
Yeah.
multiplayer, whatever it is. I think people just dig this up. People have been looking for a good space sim Star Wars since, geez, I don't know, X-Wing?
Yeah, I would say, when it felt like you could get in a vehicle of Star Wars, so for me, it would be like pod racing. When pod racing came out, I was like, can we please now start playing
Right.
like in space, in the stars, and have a war, Star Wars, you know?
Yeah,
But,
let's have a war.
I don't mind this too much because to get it as difficult as it was, right? Because a game like this, where everything needs to be accurate to Star Wars lore,
Right.
the game itself needs to feel good. You're also playing in zero gravity. You also want to have mechanics that lead to more replay value. And I feel like, and Jimmy, you agreed, right? The critics agree, and when we play it, I'm like, every time I'm learning something new, it feels hard.
Yeah.
It feels like it's a hard game, but I am slowly building upon it and feeling like, hey, I am someone in the Star Wars universe. Like, I'm okay if they're like, hey, that wasn't a priority for us. We're never saying never, but not a priority for us. A priority for us was getting a game out that was beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, I think in some ways, and I don't know if you guys agree, so EA obviously has a not great history as far as microtransactions goes. It has been heavily criticized for its focus on microtransactions and things like Star Wars Battlefront 2, etc. So I wonder if this is a little bit of an extreme decision on their part to go, okay, we heard you, you don't want microtransactions, so we're just gonna back off completely.
You get nothing.
So
no
you just
DLC,
get nothing.
no
yeah.
transactions, nothing.
Yeah, there's a difference between
Criticize that.
microtransactions and pay to win. And I loved Battlefront, so I bought Battlefront 2, and Battlefront 2 felt very much like pay to win. You gotta level up very quickly. If you're not leveled up, then you gotta pay money to catch back up, unlock the weapons so that you can do as much damage as you can. That felt bad. That felt really bad. But so I don't mind the design philosophy saying, hey, let's just put out a great game and have that be the thing that drives it forward.
Yeah, but at the same time, to Jimmy's point, the game is being very universally praised, and why would you not allow yourself room to expand upon that? Like, just give us like a DLC package, you know what I mean? Because there are a lot of games, I think, at least particularly on Switch, where you just like do a one-time transaction and you buy basically like the DLC season pass, and then as new stuff rolls out, it just shows up in your game effectively.
Because it feels easier to switch from not having anything to having something than it is building in microtransactions and having that be the way you fund your game, and then all of a sudden pull it back and level the field, because if you spent money on it because you loved that game that much and then you level the field, all of a sudden you feel really bad. Whereas, can you imagine the excitement that everyone will have? It's like, wow, I can customize my X-Wing. Wow, I can change it. Because there are ways to customize your character, but it's through playing the game. It's through progression.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's also a part of me that wonders if it's difficult to make a DLC in a game that was probably had to go through some processes where they asked, hey, is this a good Star Wars story? Can we say this about this?
Yeah,
Can we have this
exactly.
ship in there? Because there is a protection of that universe as well, and maybe EA, as the big company that it is, with a game like this, doesn't have that on the timeline because it is, I mean, I'm assuming that development for this game we don't know the exact story behind it.
In chat, SYG_Tuxedo Dan says maybe it's a sales thing. They want to see stronger numbers before putting more dev money into it, which is always a possibility.
Right, and again, a lot of games, they get shipped early with a big franchise under the guise that it will get paid for in the future with microtransactions.
Right.
This must be the opposite way, again, because of how complex this game is. When you want something to feel good and it's space, it just feels like you have a lot of bad sims. That's why we've been waiting for such a good game to come out in space, that they got it right. Let's give it time, enjoy the game. It's a great game. And then we'll see if they release some new stuff out.
So I guess we're not going to get Spaceballs 2, The Quest for More Money.